Today I'm going to be showing you a video on the best relics for every night farer in Elden Ring Night Rain. So first is Wilder. You're going to have Knight of the Miasma, which you get from killing the Fissure in the Fog, and it changes compatible armament to Chilling's Mist, which is really important because Wilder, so it adds like the frostbite effect to your weapon, and frostbite does really good damage against every single boss. And the next is going to be starting armament deals fire damage, which is also really good for a lot of the bosses. Like, for example, Sentient Pest is really weak to fire damage, and Fissure in the Fog is really weak to fire damage, so that is really good. So you'll have frostbite and fire on your sword. Next is the champion, which is increased maximum stamina, so that means you'll be able to land more hits off way easier. And guard counter is given a boost on current HP, so that is really good and for Wilder a lot. And the deep relics, if you don't have deep of night relics, don't worry, just get them after beating the final boss. And so it'll boost your fire attack damage of +3, improved holy damage negation, and increased maximum stamina, which is really good. And the next is Deep Polished Tranquil Scene. Max stamina increased for each great enemy defeated at great encampment. And then Dormant Power helps discover great sword. That Dormant Power means like you have more chances of finding that type of weapon, so that's really good. And Dormant Power helps discover curved swords, which is also another form of great swords. And then stamina recovery upon landing attacks, which is really good for the stamina buffs and everything. And next we have Guardian. So we have the Flask also here heals allies, and critical hits earn runes, which is really good for the extra runes. And then Deep Grandiosely Seen. The character skill boosts damage negation of nearby allies, improve Frenzy Flame incantations, and Holy Attack power up. And runes and item discovery increased for each. The next one is the Deep Polished Drizzly Scene. Runes and item discovery increased for each great enemy defeated at the fort, which is really, really good. Thorncracked Tear and Possession of Start of Expedition, which is really good too. And then next we are going into the regular relics. We have Polished Tranquil Scene. Guardian creates whirlwind wind charging halberd attacks. That is really good because it will add a lot of stun to the enemy, so you can stagger them pretty easily. And then attack power up when facing frostbite afflicted enemies, which that will be really, really useful for Fissure in the Fog. And then next we have the Iron Eye. Okay, now this one's really important. So, starting armament inflicts poison. This is really useful for Iron Eye because poison is really, really good for Iron Eye, and it also increases maximum FP, so you really want this on your Iron Eye. It is really good for him. And then we have Knight of the Beast. Stamina recovery upon landing attacks. That's also really good for Iron Eye, so you can just keep basically shooting your arrows. And then Polished Tranquil Scene. Iron Eye Art Charge activation adds poison effects, which is really, really useful. And then Deep Grand Luminous Scene. Fire attack power up. We don't really want to worry about that, but increased maximum stamina at the bottom is really useful. And then we have Deep Grand Tranquil Scene. Dormant Power helps discover curved sword. Stamina recovery upon landing attacks, which is really, really useful. And Holy Damage negation up. Next we have the Deep Grand Tranquil Scene. HP restoration upon great axe attacks. We don't really want to, focus on that. But Treasure marked upon the app, which is really, really useful. And improved blood loss resistance, which could also be really useful against like the one blood loss camps, which are really hard to beat. Okay, now the next one is going to be the Duchess. Now this one's also really important. So you're going to want to have the Knight of the Fathom, which increases your maximum HP, which is really good for Duchess because she doesn't have that much HP. And then Flask also heals allies, which is also pretty useful. And then we have Grand Drizzly Scene. Starting armament inflicts poison. That is also really useful because poison makes extra damage. So, and then Start Shard and start in possession of Start of Expedition, which is really useful because Duchess can also use like faith and intelligent type weapons and stabs and finger seals. Next we have the Polished Drizzly Scene. Poise +1 is really useful for Duchess because she does not have that much poise. And then we have the Deep Polished Burning Scene for the Deep Relics. And then Duchess use Character Skill for brief invulnerability. Okay, so if you don't know what that means, it means whenever you use your like clock skill or whatever, it means you're invincible for like 2 seconds maybe, and then improved poison resistance. And then we have the Deep Polished Drizzly Scene, improved throwing knife damage, which is not that useful, but we're looking at the second one, the Stone Sword Key and Possession of Start of Expedition. This is really useful because Stone Sword Keys open up ever jails that can give you lots of runes, so that's really useful. Then we have Deep Polished Drizzly Scene, improved poise and damage negation when knocked back by damage, and reduced FP consumption, which is really useful too. Then we have Raider. We are going to start with the Knight of the Fathom, which is really useful because it increases your maximum HP, and Torn Braided Cord. And if you do not know how to get this, you will want to go over here, and you're going to want to go over here, and then you'll see this thing, and then you're going to want to do Raider Remembrance and just finish it. Then you should get that. And then, so anyways, so you want to have Torn Braided Cord. Damage taken while using character skill improves attack power and stamina. That is really useful because you're going to be using your skill a lot for Raider. And then you're going to want to also have the Strength 3, which is really useful. So next is the Polished Luminous Scene. And then it says damage taken while using character skill improves attack power and stamina, which is the same as that, but so yeah, you'll be getting double the damage and stamina, which is really good. And then now we're going into the Deep Relics. Physical attack up +3, which is really good because Raider does a lot of physical damage. And yeah, improved fire damage negation, which could be really useful for like, let's see, Tricephalos and like those types of enemies that do fire. And then the last one is gonna be this one right here. Art gauge fills moderately upon critical hits, which is really useful also because you're gonna be getting a lot of critical hits with Raider. And Madness in Vicinity improves attack power, which could be really useful for the for the Equilibrious Beast, so that could be really useful for that. And yeah, so that's all that good for Raider. That's all the relics that you will want for Raider. Next is the Revenant, and if you don't know how to get Revenant, you're gonna want to start right here. You're gonna want to go through this door, then you're gonna want to turn left, and you'll see like a little ghost here. You're gonna want to touch the ghost or whatever, and then it'll bring you to this place. You gotta fight a boss, and that's how you get Revenant. And then, so the relics you want for Revenant is the Besmirched Frame. Taking attacks improves attack power. So that is good because Revenant, you will be getting hit a lot. And I mean a lot. And then Faith +3, which is pretty good for a Revenant because she's a Faith user. And then we have Grand Drizzly Scene. Revenant strengthens family and allies when Ultimate Art is activated. So if you don't know what the family is, it's like the character skill where you can summon the people and stuff like that, like the little things. And then improved attack power with 3 heavy thrusting swords equipped and dexterity +2. That's not all that good, but the Revenant buff is what you really want. Then we have Knight of the Wise. Increased maximum FP, which is really good. And then starting Armament inflicts poison, which is also pretty good for Revenant because she will be doing a lot of spells and stuff, not just melee. So that's pretty good. Then we're going on to the deep relics. Improved throwing knife damage, not that good and all, but stone sword key and possession at start of expedition, which is good because ever jails give you lots of runes. And then we have deep grand drizzly scene. Improved frenzied flame incantations, which you will be using those. It depends on what you finger seals you use, but holy attack of power up, which is really good because holy damage is weak to a lot of the bosses, like Tricephalos and like Night Aspect and all those bosses. So yeah. Okay, now we're gonna have now deep grand luminous scene. Fire attack of power up, improved holy damage negation, and increased maximum stamina, which is really, really, really good. Then we're gonna move on to recluse. Now this one is, you will want all of these relics because they're all really good. Increased maximum HP, which is really good because recluse does not have that much. And then health, and then flask also heals allies, so that means you heal your allies whenever you use the one thing, so that's pretty good. And then we have Knight of the Lord. Now, you will only get this unless you beat the Night Aspect. So, if you need to beat the Night Aspect, you will need to beat Tricephalos first, and then any of these bosses, and then beat another one of these bosses. So, you have to beat 3 bosses to get to the Night Aspect boss. So this is really good also because switching weapons adds an affinity attack, which you will be switching a lot with Recluse because she has different spells, so you have to like kind of switch through the like inventory for different staves and stuff, so that's really useful. And then we have boost attack power of added affinity attack, so it's basically adding to the first buff. And then switching weapons boosts attack power. Same thing with the top one, but it's just boosting your attack power and stuff. Next is the Knight of the Wise, which you get from beating Sentient Pest. Increased maximum FP, which is all you really, really want because it does increase your FP a lot. Then for the deep relics, you want to get Deep Grand Burning Scene, max FP up with 3 Sacred Seals equipped, which you should have 3 or more because they're really useful. And then HP restoration of Prime Sword attack, that's not that good, but improved incantations, which is really good. And then we're going to go over here. Deep Grand Drizzly Scene, attack power up when facing frostbite afflicted enemy. Now again, this is really useful for the Fissure and the Fog boss fight because that does frostbite damage. And then you're going to want to, this one is also useful. Item confer effect to all nearby allies. This means like if you're using, let's see, a warming stone and you're in it, it will also be healing your allies so they don't have to come over and like sit in the warming stone with you. And improve poison resistance, which is really useful for Sentient Pest and those type of bosses. Next is the Executor. So you're going to want to have the Knight of the Fathom. This will increase your max HP, and Flask also heals allies. And then this one changes compatible armament to Lightning Slash at the start. This one is really, really useful because Executor does not do that much poise damage, and poise damage is like, and lightning adds a lot of poise damage to like the bosses. So they're like get staggered much easier. So that is really useful for Executor. Now, second is Knight of the Wise, increased maximum FP. Starting armament inflicts poison, which is really good because you want to get that poison damage off because it will like get extra damage. So like whenever you're just like running around waiting for like your teammates to get out of the warming stone, you'll still be doing damage to the boss because it's poisoned. So that's pretty good. And then Deep Grand Burning Scene, Executor, improved vigor and endurance, reduced arcane, which Executor really does not use arcane at all, so that's really useful. Poison spray, mist, and possession outside of exposition, that's not that good. But lightning attack power up is good for the this one right here. So that's pretty useful. And then we have the deep grand luminous scene. So this will be partial HP restoration upon post damage attack, which is pretty useful. And then we have improved initial standard attack, so that will be buffing your regular old slash attack, so that's pretty useful. Improved physical damage negation, reduced intelligence and dexterity. So that would be you don't take as much damage as you did before. Then deep grand luminous scene, item confer effects to all nearby allies. I've done that. And improved poison resistance. So that is all really good. So yeah, if this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.